Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Network Merchandise Shop. Pick up your logo merchandise by heading over to abvnetwork.com, clicking on Shop, and start filling your basket today. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for something for yourself, a customized gift, or logoed items for your business gift shop, the Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. That's the number 2 in the Bar to Go. Don't forget our friends at Neeley Family Distillery now ship their unique distilled spirits directly to you. To order yours, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discuss Neeley Family Distillery's single barrels. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Cailee Baker, Jim Fosna, and Katie Joyce.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. So, yes, we got a fun show today. Sometimes we just like to talk about individual products. You know, we've done Booker's bourbon and all kinds of them in the past. Today, we're going to talk about Neeley Family and their single barrels. So that's how they release their bourbon. We're going to talk about those. We'll get to that, though, after the break. For right now, Cailee said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that?
Yeah, well, today's show is supposed to air on my husband's birthday, October 5th. So happy birthday, Clinton.
Happy birthday.
He's the best husband I've ever had. He's the only one, but, you know, that works. But he is a very outdoorsy guy. And so I thought I'd ask the crew, what are your favorite outdoorsy activities to do, especially with a glass of bourbon in hand?
Glass of bourbon. Okay.
I was gonna answer flying, but then you said glass of bourbon in hand. I'm like, well, that's out.
Yeah, that's out.
Not supposed to pilot with that.
Katie, what do you got?
Golfing, though. I took golf. I did golf league as a kid, and then I went quite a few years without doing it. But then just recently this summer, I took a few lessons again. I've been golfing, and that goes well with whiskey and beer and enjoying a golf game. So that's what I've been really enjoying this summer.
It does. I actually bought a set of clubs like off Facebook Marketplace because I didn't know if I was going to get into it, but I wanted to go with my husband because he likes golfing. And like his friends work weird shifts like he does. So I was like, I'll get some. I'll go with you. It is a fun excuse to day drink, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. It's
absolutely
like the best thing about charity tournaments is that it doesn't matter how you do because it's for charity. And you can just go and fucking drink all day. And they got set up at the holes with different like drinks and shots and everything else.
Yeah, he knows when I go. He's accepted that I suck. So like we play best ball, which is 90% of the time his. And I just go along. We day drink. We have a good time. I love golfing and drinking.
McNew's fascinating.
Yeah. That I subbed for golf league on the women's golf league this year. And there was one time I was running really late and I was subbing for a lot of times I'll sub for my mom or the person she golfs with. So it's someone I know, but I was subbing with someone I didn't know and I was running late. So I didn't have time to go in the clubhouse and get some beer. And I had to do a whole 9 holes of golf without any beer. And I was like, this sucks. This is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, not a great game
I
anymore.
require at least a drink every 2 holes. There's no way I'm doing that sober. There's no way.
Yeah. Jim, how about you? Outdoor activities and beer?
So I'm a big hunter. And while I don't drink while I'm hunting, you know, deer camp typically revolves around afterwards. We all come back, we make dinner, sit around, you know, talk about what we did that day, what we got, and everyone's, you know, drinking, whatever they're drinking. I'm typically drinking bourbon or beer or whatever. But we were right. Well, by the time this airs, deer season will kick off in Missouri on the 15th. So I'll be out on opening day with Heidi. She'll be with me. And hopefully got a couple of deers day one.
Oh, nice. I'm not a big outdoor activity guy, believe it or not. But that being said, Miss Becca Sue, as we know her, got into my calendar and recently released it. And on the calendar was the shooting guns, getting drunk, and raising hell day. So yes, that's, I guess, my new favorite thing is shooting guns and raising hell and drinking bourbon.
Is it skeet shooting, Steve?
Oh, it's a little bit of everything. Yes, that's involved. Cool. Long range shooting, just shooting pistols, you name it, shooting cans and bottles, you name it, we shoot it. So I hang out with Royce Neeley. So yeah, you kind of pick up on that. I had literally, like, I don't know, 2 months ago, I had no guns. Now I'm up to 4, including I don't want to say what I got.
So
I got a pretty desirable gun. Yes.
One they're going to confiscate from you shortly.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think I want this on record. So
that one off.
I don't have that.
What was the first one you got?
The first one I got is really a cool gun. It matches my personality. It's a Smith & Wesson 357 revolver, and it's engraved. So it's gold. It's a gold gun, and it's engraved. It's got a cool handle too. I mean, it's a freaking awesome gun. And then I got I always wanted a Colt 1911. Always been infatuated with that gun. I got a 1969 Colt 11 World War II commemorative gun, which is really cool.
Wow.
I got a little C Camp, little 380 pocket gun, and then I got this new one that is really cool.
Well, yeah, I was supposed to go with Roy's shooting at some point. He wanted me to bring. I think the reason he got his, he wanted to bring my Armor Light 50 out there and do some long range shooting. But my oldest son is in Kansas City, and he's using it. He's doing some long range competitions with his buddies. A Marine Scout sniper. Actually won the Marine Scout Sniper Championship many years ago. And so they're having like mile long shooting matches. Which is out of my league. I love that gun, but it's at $7 to $11 a round. It gets an expensive gun to shoot. So.
Yeah, that adds up very quickly. Very quickly. Yeah. All right, Cailee, you asked the question. Outdoor activities. What do you like?
Well, it's funny that apparently going to Royce's house and shooting guns is like the random awesome thing that everybody gets to do, because he's also invited me out there. I don't know what kind of guns my husband has, but he has a lot, and he'll bring them all, I'm sure.
No, I feel uncool. I've never been invited.
You've never been invited?
Well, to be fair, they just got into their house not too long ago, so maybe your invite's coming, But I would have to say my favorite outdoor activity. Oh,
that's Royce's. Yes. I don't want to talk too much about that. That's Royce's.
That is a great collection there, Royce.
Guys, they live a different life.
I will say this: if you ever get, you feel a little crazy, you want to go rob a house, stay away from the Neeleys. Don't do it. Do not go to anybody whose last name is Neeley.
I think their family history solved that for us a long time ago.
That'd be a mistake. So yeah.
But yeah, I think one of my favorite things to do outdoorsy wise, with beer or bourbon in hand, is kayaking. My parents live on a lake, Lake Barkley. I go out there all the time and kayak, and my in-laws just moved to Barren River Lake area, and so we go up there and kayak some too. Okay. I know you're probably not supposed to drink and kayak, but
that's more suggested than a drink.
A life jacket, and I can hook onto my husband's kayak and just let him pull me, so it's fine.
Exactly.
If you really want to drink, you just gotta get in a raft and go floating down the river.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. There's zero skill involved.
Yeah.
We can get an boat trip next summer.
Yeah, I love a float trip. I love it. We call it brewing, but it's all the same thing. Like, I just want to get on a raft and get drunk in the sun.
You do know we're the only ones who call it float trip, and Katie too. Yeah, I'm telling you, Katie. I think we've talked about this. No one else calls it float trip. They don't even know what we're talking about.
They're messing up. Yeah, all people are like, "What?" I describe it. They use like some other term, and I'm like, "No, it's a float trip.
It's a float trip. That covers everything. That covers everything."
I think we call it a float trip. I think, when you go from one spot to the other,
or people are just like, "Hey, you want to go to the river today?" And we know exactly.
Or you want to go yakking? That's my favorite. You want to go yakking?
Yakking. Okay. There you go. All right. Well, it is time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with McNew. McNew, what do you got?
I have some Booker's. It's the Boston batch.
Oh, nice. No, nothing really there. Nothing.
It was good on my side, man.
No, it was not good on our side.
Well, shit.
I've got St. Cloud here. I look for a Neeley single barrel, which I have plenty here. I just don't have them up in the studio right now, but they do bottle this one. So that's as close as I could get for the show. So I'm doing my best. Cork pop. Yeah, better than McNew's, but it should be beaten. We'll see. Looks like Katie is ready to go. What do you got there, Katie?
I am. I have some Bullet Bourbon 10.
Okay. Oh, bad form there with the slosh.
Had a little, slosh and backsplash there.
I haven't spilled it on myself yet tonight, so I still call it winning. But
I think I've still got the lead there with the slush and all that. I think they're deductive for points. So, all right, Cailee, I've got the lead, but again, I think this should easily be beat. But maybe do a sample or something. Do a screw top. Do a screw top.
I really hope. I have a Neeley Family single barrel. Actually, I was on my way to a wedding last week, and on the way there, I noticed that we passed right by it, and I was like, "We're stopping on the way back." And so I stopped by. It was slammed. Becca texted me and apologized afterward because she couldn't talk to me because it was crazy. But I bottled this. It's honeysuckle rose from their gift shop. So
no, nothing.
Barely anything.
I've got the lead. Speaking of Neeley, we can put a plug for them. They've got a cocktail bar now. So if you want to go get a cocktail, including the machines with the L8 and whiskey in there.
And I tried the bourbon slush while I was there. It's freaking phenomenal. I didn't get to, everybody was really pissed off that I wanted to stop because it was a 7.5 hour road trip. So they were like, all right. I was like, okay, just let me try the bourbon slush. And they're like, but you can't get one. So I just got a sample and I went.
Oh. I usually get free run of the place. So I'm just going to go back there and fill up a cup and just, assume that I get that for free as a courtesy. We'll see. All right. Jim, how about you? What do you got?
Well, you're probably going to win, but I got a Neeley Family Distillery also. I've got Autumn Vanilla.
Oh, yeah.
Well, bottle. Not sure what's going to be.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna throw this to Katie. Katie, who wins, me or Jim? Pretty pathetic either way.
Yeah, can we have a sixth contender in here? Can anyone redo it? Pick a new bottle?
No.
I'll Steve. Mine was almost silent. I'll give it to Steve on that one.
There you go.
Yeah, we're gonna go Steve one.
I like it because it goes in the record books as a win, so it doesn't be like barely won or terrible. So yeah.
No, you got to put an asterisk next to it. There's no way that can just go as a W.
Since McNew's had all this time off, you should have her go through and catalog everyone who's won a cork pop and share the record somewhere.
Yeah, we should.
I mean, I can call in Monday. I have no problem.
Yeah, don't encourage her. Sure. Cheers, gang.
Cheers.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, it's all about Neeley Family. We'll be talking about their single barrels. We'll do that in just a few. Hello, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, and let's talk for a moment about our sponsors, the people that make this show happen. First up is our friends at Moonshine University. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification at their office in Louisville. The information I learned through lead instructor Colin Blake and their team there is something that I continue to draw upon frequently in my role at the ABV Network. It truly is the standard of establishing a benchmark of knowledge of the bourbon industry. From history to production to brands and people, it's all there. Check out their full listing of programs, including Executive Bourbon Steward Certification, production classes if you're considering starting a distillery, and much more at moonshineuniversity.com. I also want to talk about Neeley Family Distillery. Back in May of 2018, I met Royce Neeley at Limestone Branch's Craft Bourbon Festival. It ended up not only being the start of a great friendship, I started to truly learn about what makes craft whiskey so amazing. You see, I had been a bourbon drinker for over 30 years at that point, and like many people who had been drinking bourbon a long time, I was hard-coded into thinking big bourbon was where it was at and craft was on a journey to get there. Spending time with Royce and learning the things he does to make his whiskey taste better started to really get me to appreciate how things like sweet mashing, open top fermentation, pot distillation, and the grains you are using not only makes your product taste better coming off the still, but also out of the barrel as well. I still love heritage brands and they make up a bulk of my collection. But when you find a craft distiller that is truly dedicated to the craft of distilling, you are drinking some of the best whiskey out there on the market today. That's exactly what's happening at Neeley Family Distillery today. Check them out on the web at neeleyfamilydistillery.com, or better yet, stop by and see them at their distillery in Sparta, Kentucky. And now, back to the show.
Hi, this is Mr. Bill. You're listening to Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about Neeley Family Distillery single barrels.
Yes, we are. So, they made a decision early on that they're going to release their stuff as single barrels. And initially it was just through the gift shop, before they had distribution. And it would just be the barrel number would be on the side. That's how they'd identify it. And I did work with Royce. This was before Becca was in the picture. Just Royce, and I talked to him and I said, "You got to do like naming these things and give them a name and a personality." And they started doing that, and I think that's been a huge thing for them. It really helps because then you remember them. You think about some of them that you had there, Marshmallow Black Belt, and these different. They almost take on a little bit of a personality, especially the really good ones that stand out. Their Maltley Crew. You start thinking about some of their greatest ones. So I think that's been a really cool thing, and so it's definitely worth checking out. Neeley picks based on the name. That kind of gives you some insight into what you're going to be drinking. I think that's a cool aspect of it for sure.
No, Steve, so I was actually going to give Becca a lot of credit for that because I was like, they're coming out with so many cute, unique names. Like that had to be her, right? Like that's
yeah.
That's funny because I was planning on saying the exact same thing where I was like, "Oh, I bet this is Becca who did this."
Yeah, I think she's coming up with a lot of the cool names. I'm talking about when the launch of the program before Becca and Royce were together or anything like that. But yeah, I think Becca's doing a lot of that because she's their single barrel coordinator and stuff. So she's always kind of thinking of names and stuff like that. So yes.
Yeah. I love that they've done like some of the crew members, like there's the Wheat Latch for Bob, there's the Ribensons. I love that they're doing that too. That's amazing.
Yeah. I think Tim Wheeler, they got a Tim Weeder, So yes, if you're an ABV Network Crew Club member, which you should be, if you're not, you should join the club. And yes, if you collect Neeley and eventually, and you do post enough pictures of it, they will name a barrel after you that they sell in the gift shop. So I know the last one to do one was the Legend. And I think they just called it the Legend. Yeah.
Couldn't name it better. That's perfect.
Yeah. You don't have to name it anything else. Just call it the Legend. So yeah. And of course, the good thing for them, Rick buys like 2 cases, as the day one when it comes out, and then he goes back and they still got some. So I think he bought another case. So yeah, that's the Legend. That's how you get the nickname the Legend. You buy.
The amazing thing is he's already out. He's drank it all.
Right. Yeah.
Like, is there another case left? I need one.
Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely a very cool aspect of it. What else do you guys like about Neeley and what they're doing there?
I just love the single barrels. Like for me, it's a great way to introduce people into craft whiskey because there can be a negative connotation. It's young, it's whatever, but they're just doing things so well there. It's a great way to get people into craft and show them the unique profiles you can get, in a short period of time that you can produce some fantastic flavors, some fantastic whiskey. So it's always fun to break out. I've always got 3 or 4 different bottles hanging around the house here and let people taste through them blindly and see what they think and what they're pulling out of it.
Yeah. Another thing that they're doing, and this is a special treat if you go to the distillery, they have bought, Royce has bought, as a matter of fact, he buys all he can. Anytime he can get them from Zach Cooperage, he buys their 8-year air season barrels. So if you think about most air season barrels, 6 months, going to be, typically the amount of time a barrel spends outside. You can buy some, the ones that really are kind of, trying to market it and sell it. We'll talk about, a year and a half, but he's got some that are 8 years. And what the difference is over 8 years of raining on it and getting wet and drying and getting wet again. And all that stuff is a lot of the tannins wash out of there. So it becomes, you can really taste a difference in those barrels. That when they come out, and it's good to buy an 8-year air season, buy one of the regular ones, which I think the regular ones are like a year and a half. He buys the extra air season. He never goes just the standard. Yeah, but try the difference, and you can taste it for sure. So it's
marked down on the bottle seeds, those ones that are The 8-year air season?
Yes, yeah. So that's that he just started releasing those, Jim, a couple months ago. So the one you've got, the bottle you've got there, identifies it as being under 2 years old. So the white label is under 2 years old. Cailee, the one that you got there is a Kentucky straight bourbon, the darker label, and then it comes with a tag. It's the darker label plus a tag that says 8-year air season on it. If you get one of those, so and they're $10 more too, by the way. Which I mean,
You're there this weekend, right?
I'll be not this weekend. I'm going on Monday. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. So yeah.
Can I talk you in and get me a bottle if I send you some money?
Yeah. I'll see if he doesn't always have those in stock because and he's told Zach Cooperage he'll buy every one of those because they're a small cooperage, so it's not like it's going to ISC and saying I need all of your barrels, which a truck shows up and it's we got 8 more semis behind this one. It's not like that at all. So, but every once in a while he'll have 20 of them or 50 of them, and Royce said I'll buy every one of them. So, and they're expensive. They're very expensive barrel, but it makes a difference. I mean, you can taste it. So if he's got one, Jim, I will definitely get it for you. So
shoot me on Venmo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on that note, I think it's cool because like people like to chase allocated bourbons, right? And they're things you're never going to find or you're going to pay so much money for that they're not worth. But these are technically allocated, right? Because they're limited.
Yeah.
There's only so many of them, and they're at retail and they're special, and they that he makes great stuff because he's like so involved in every detail of it. So it's a great way to get something quote unquote allocated that you're not spending thousands of dollars for. And people have collected this. We've seen people with Neeley shelves, and I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah. There's people that amazes me, and what amazes me is I probably had equal collections as those folks, but I've drank through them. But I'll see people that have like 30 different Neeley bottles where they haven't drank all the way through them, which is amazing. They hang on to them and covet them.
They don't last long for me. The
Yeah.
last one we had, I think, lasted. Let's see, we got married in June. We got the bottle in October. It lasted less than 3 months because we drank it down to be a bottle decoration on our table.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they definitely will go quick on you. So yeah. But good place to go to. It's a great place to visit. They always have barrel picks on the shelf, so that's something that they do. They also have a program where you can fill your own bottle, so it's single barrels where you actually get to go back and fill it yourself. Cailee, you're saying you did that with that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the last one too.
Yeah. So
Just
that's
what you get to do every time you visit Steve.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's called the Steve treatment.
it's the Steve treatment. Yes.
You wouldn't think like working at another distillery and like bottling bourbon all day long that it'd still be exciting to go to another distillery and bottle your own bourbon, but it still is for me.
Imagine what Neeley and Stump could charge if they had a Steve Akeley experience.
There you go.
Steve does.
I took Jim over with me one day. Jim, how great of a day was that? When we went over to Adam Stump's house, we just started.
Let's clarify. That wasn't about us.
$1,000 day.
It's true.
It wasn't about us. It was about Adam. He needed a break from his stressful life, and Steve said we would come and provide it for him. So we went over there and we really just gave Adam some great therapy, and it was not a bad day at all.
You guys are such good friends.
We drank a lot that day, actually.
I may or may not have gotten in trouble when I got home.
Oh, I love it though. Yeah. That day was about Adam because he had been busy with that, putting in the his new still, and I just feel like you could tell the stress even on social media. We just had to get over there, get his mind off that stuff, and just get together with friends and have a few drinks. So I'm glad. I'm glad we
doing the good work there.
Yeah. We made a difference in his life that day, for sure.
I think we should offer that service for distillers across the country, Steve.
I think so too. Yeah.
You probably need to go visit Lenny soon. Yeah, right. Go do that.
Yeah. It was so great because we walk in there and it was almost because we've been talking about this and this is what we're going to do and all that. And we go there and Adam literally was having a terrible day when we got there. It's like, this is just bullshit. And I'm tired of this. We're like, hey, this is why we're here. Put that down, walk away. And he was smiling and laughing by the end of it. So yeah, I think he got in trouble that night too, though.
Had a good day.
He had a good day, but it's Laura got a little mad at him that night. But yeah, it happens. It was worth it. All right. Well, there you go. A little bit about what's going on at Neeley. Check them out and go over there, pick you up a single barrel, and get one of those bourbon slushes before they go away for the winter. So you want to get there while it's still warm out. All right. Let's talk about where we can find people. Kaylee, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Cailee Baker.
All right, Katie.
If you want to find me, you should head over to Instagram and look for Katie Proof.
All right, Jim.
Find me on Facebook at Jim Fazat or on Instagram at FazJim, FAZZJIM.
All right, McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV, and you can find me every Tuesday on the ABV Network channel, hosting bottle kills and last meals.
All right. For me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website. That thing's abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows, our blogs, so much more. abvnetwork.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right. Great job today, gang. For our audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Adios, muchachos.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's chat for a moment about Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you just want to experiment on a small scale on the stove in your kitchen or try your hand at a bigger setup in the backyard, Moonshine Still Pro can help. They have different still offerings as well as accessories and even grains from Goldstone Mill to help you make whiskey on par with what you get from your favorite distillery. They can even assist with a DIY still project by supplying some of the parts you can't make yourself. Check them out at moonshinestillpro.com. At the ABV Network, we're lucky enough to have some great friends. Amongst those friends is the Goldstein family, owners of Goldstone Mill. Goldstone Mill is a full-service mill offering a variety of heritage and heirloom grains. Their unique approach of working with mills around the country allows them to offer you affordable shipping opportunities to meet the unique needs of your distillery or brewery. They will consult with you to ensure the grains you are selecting meets the unique flavor profiles you are looking for. If you are a home brewer or distiller and you're looking for the grains that your local distillery or brewery uses, Goldstone Mill is the place to look. Check them out on the web at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or shoot them an email at hello@goldstonemill.com.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.